Hello everybody, welcome to TraderMerlin Show. I have a very special show for you today, and some of you might actually be new to this channel because you saw the title, the headline that I posted for today, which is The Trading Scam of 2020. Now, of course, we will talk about financial markets as we do every day on this live show, and if anybody is new, click that subscribe button so you can be part of our group out there. A quick shout out, hello Brendan, Jorge, Dana, Jeff, Vernon, Big Eb, Ibsy, good to have you with us. Today's show was prompted by a couple different things. There's so many different scams that go on every single day in the financial marketplace, and it drives me nuts on how there are these unscrupulous, God, I'm sorry for cursing, unscrupulous assholes who will do whatever they can to take money from you in any way, shape, or form. They'll lie, cheat, and steal. Now, it bugs me significantly because when I look at what we're going to present to you today, I'm showing you an absolute scam where you'll probably lose every single penny of your money if you even consider doing business with these guys. Yes, Big Abs is very cool shirt. I'd have something flashy, right? A scam artist needs to be flashy. What bothers me is when people lump the company that I work for into that category of being a scam, Online Trading Academy in particular, because here is a physical brick and mortar entity providing tons of content all the time, trying to get people's skill sets up, get them better. Now, of course, it is a sales organization, so there's sales along the way, but you're getting something of value for your money. What I'm going to show you today is absolute scum of the earth, and I hope that they just get in a car crash and disappear from the face of the planet. Problem is, you won't know who they are because, as I'll show you, they're all fake. So let me start off with the title here, which is The Trading Scam of 2020. I'm going to say that just about everybody is going to be a victim of one of these things I'm going to show you here today. One of them. So I'll start off by showing you this. Some of you might know this. This is my real Twitter handle, right? It's Merlin Rothfeld. The @TraderMerlin is very simple. Now, I'm going to show you right now this imposter who's been going around, and I guess they say, impersonation is the greatest form of flattery or something like that, or some crazy verse like that. When I look at the next one here, I want you guys to just take a mental note, screenshot of this in your head, because this is my real page. It's actually wrong. It should say 24 years, but, that's okay. Things change. Now, I'm going to go forward one, and I made this up because somebody out there is doing just this right now. They've copied my entire profile. All the data is the same. Everything's the same, except you'll notice there's a couple different differences. Wow, I'm going to learn to speak today. You can tell I'm excited. A couple of differences here. Right here, you'll notice that the Merlin has two eyes in it. Now, this guy has subsequently been removed because, thank you, all of you who have reported this guy. There's many people who've emailed me over the past couple weeks regarding this individual. The other thing you should always be, there you go, Big Ab, thank you. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. Couldn't think about it on the fly. The other thing you should notice right away, and anytime somebody's soliciting you, or especially if it's somebody you know, this has happened to Bob Dunn, this has happened to Brandon Wendell, this has happened to Sam Evans. There was people trying to mimic us because we are, we have a following and we're in the financial markets. But notice down here, this guy had like just a few followers. And the other piece here is he joined in November of 2020. So clearly right away, anybody who knows me or knows the show should see right through this and understand that this person who's using Trader MERLIN is an imposter. But, I could sit here all day and create a hypothesis about what this guy was doing. Oh, he's a scumbag, he's lying, he's cheating, he's stealing, he's trying to... But, however, I have a viewer, a follower who I will just call K. That's the only initial I'm going to give there. We don't want to give, keep him anonymous. Unless we end up in court of law. No, kidding. K was basically saying, look, you have this individual, and I'm going to interact with them. And I'm going to kind of spur them on a little bit to see what they're talking about. So let's look at the conversation that went on. This is an actual, real thing. This is just recently, too. You can see it's got my name at the top. Merlin Rothfeld. Looks legit. Looks like me. Now, I think this is on WhatsApp. It says, the K says, do you have Bitcoin video conference calls? And Merlin, the imposter, says, via WhatsApp. Oh, that has conferencing? Yes. I usually do that on Zoom, but its network ain't really stable, so I prefer using WhatsApp. First off, I ain't going to talk like this, and you'll see there's some other grammar issues, which clearly tells me that they're not American. Now, the second one here, when I reveal it, says, this is where it gets good. Okay, I'll be trading full-time on your behalf and helping you earn as you learn from my techniques. I will guide you on the trade all through, and I get 10% commissions of your profits. I'm reading it correctly, guys. I'm not messing up my reading here. Firstly, you'll be creating an account in my trading website, which may take a while to get verified, meaning I'm going to disappear with your frickin' money. Good luck getting it out. You can fund your crypto wallet while waiting there too. So why don't you just put your money into my crypto account and I'm just going to disappear with it because you no longer have the keys. Hold on. It gets better. So Kay says, well, what's the funding level? And Kay, bless your heart. Thank you for engaging this person. I really hope you didn't send anything. I just love it because I have actual screenshots of this scumbag impersonating me, which is basically trying to steal your money. So the imposter Merlin says, the startup required to kick off the trade. Kay says, right. And what would that be in dollars? And how are commissions paid? Is that part of your platform? And here's where I got to put a red box around this one because you're like, are you freaking kidding me? The imposter Merlin says $3,000, which could possibly earn you $15,000 per week. I'm just going to let that hang in the air for a second. There was an old fable or myth about some farmer in China. And I know I'm butchering this story. One of you probably knows it way better than me. It's in the far corners of my mind. Where he was betting the emperor of China something. He said, look, I only want 1 grain of sand. But they had a chessboard, which I think has 64 squares. And says, what I'll do is each day I want you to double the amount of rice. And by 64, as you went 64 times, there's more rice on that chessboard than could be possibly manufactured on Earth. It's just the power of doubling. Not only is this guy telling you that he can make money with yours, and it would be one thing if he said, hey, I can maybe be able to get you 10% a week or 10% a month or hell, even 10% a year. But this guy is saying he's going to make you, and I misspoke earlier, Brendan, that's 500% a week. Now, what I wanted to do was send this guy $1. Because if you did $1, the amount of rate of return would just be phenomenal. And I'll show you, I created spreadsheets to show you how freaking bogus this is crazy. Yeah, FX Green says 500% in a week is nice. I just want it 1 day a year. 1 week a year. I'm not asking for it every week. Just give me 1 week a year, 500%, I'm out. So clearly, anybody with half a brain understands that this guy is a scumbag. But wait, it gets better. I thought that maybe he would just say, email me and I'll get you started. But no, this moron, and screw these people right here. The only risk involved is that once you have profited from this, you ought to make with immediately. Because once you don't make withdrawal, the rise and fall of the prices of Bitcoins will definitely affect the Bitcoin amount earned. Okay, so you're telling me you're going to make me 500% per week if I leave $3,000 with you, but if I leave the money in there in your account, then it's at risk of losses? I'm confused. Riddle me this, Batman. I don't know. I think I have a college degree, but this is way out of my league trying to understand that crap. But it gets even better. Notice right here, the company's site, and for the love of God, people, please do not, I wouldn't even recommend going to it. I'm going to go to the website here, but do not support them, click or anything. It's NASCORELFX.com, NASCORELFX.com. And he says go there and create an account. So what I thought might be interesting, first off, is just to show you the compounding. And then I want to go to the website and I'll really dive deep into why this is such a scam. And this is happening all over the place. I've seen it many times. I built a cryptocurrency class, I want to say 3 years ago. And as I was building that, I found a bunch of fake companies that were trying to get you to buy ICOs, initial coin offerings, and things like that. This is the same basic principle. However, it involves directly my name. And that's why I'm pissed off. So let me show you the power of compounding here. I think that this might drive it home. I know it's hard to read this. It's really small. I built a spreadsheet here. And basically I said I'm depositing $1. At the end of week 1, I want to have that $1 with a 500% gain. So that $1 at the end of week 1 turns to $5. By the end of week, let's see, you're a millionaire by the end of week 9. On $1, folks, $1 freaking dollar, you're a millionaire at 9 weeks. This would be great. And I'm pretty sure that whoever this imposter is, if they knew that, then they would have all their money in that account if they're making 500% a week. So let me just continue on with these numbers here. Let's go to see. So a millionaire week 9, and 5 weeks later, or 4 weeks later, you're a billionaire. Week 13, 1.2 billion. But look down at the bottom. Just so you get an idea, this is 23 zeros. Actually, I think it's 26 zeros at the end of the year. Nobody on earth If you combine all of the wealth on earth, let me just say that. If you combine all of the wealth on earth, all of the printed money, all of the corporate debt, all of the institutional debt, and you put every single penny of monetary numbers together, euro, yen, drachma, whatever, I don't care, and you put it all in one pool, it's not anywhere close to this number. So this is what I saw happen at the Traders Expo. People were giving fake claims, but this one is over the top and ridiculous. So let's do us a little bit of experiment here and go out to the website, because remember, we want to be risk managers at all time. So first off, your red flag should be up significantly when you see some jerk like this saying they're going to get you 400% rate of return. It's ridiculous. It's not going to, or 500% rate of return. It's not going to happen, okay? If they do, in a week, it is absolute luck. They probably took a flyer on Hertz stock and got paid off on one trade and made 500%. Good luck doing that every week for the rest of your life. It's not going to happen. I'll guarantee you that. Come at me, SEC, for making those claims. Now, first off, I did this. I looked at this on a different computer. Yeah, you're right. He said, you could possibly, though, so it could be 0.001% chance. It's more like 0.0000000000001% chance. But right. But to put that in there, what happens is it ends up being bogus claims, and it is a scam. Now, of course, we're talking about his text and the messages that were going back and forth between Imposter Merlin and Kay. So let's look at the website, shall we? I mean, why not? If we're looking at this as potentially being a fraud, then okay, let's dive deep into it. So, NASCAR LFX. I went to the website. Compare, choose, start trading. I'm guessing somebody needs some punctuation, maybe a little bit of an X or a comma here, maybe compare, comma, choose, comma, start trading. I don't know. Clearly that's wrong. What I would encourage you to do is don't go here and click around, guys. I did it on another computer and I didn't get any virus issues, but to me, this is a perfect phishing site where they might be trying to get, to hack into your computer from this. So I scrolled down here and I see the platform. Ooh, so pretty, bells and whistles. But what I wanted to do, please tell me it didn't go away. I wanted to show you this. So one of the things I talked about when I was looking at the ICO, the cryptocurrency class, which I built, I wanted to address this issue, which comes up a lot, which is the illusion that the people that are running this company are reputable, they're well established in the community, they're good people. And two of the cryptocurrency company, the ICOs I found, they were using photographs of people from a university in Scotland. It was an all-boys boarding school, and the pictures were directly from the website. Interestingly enough, I couldn't find any of these pictures. I went through all four of them, including the CEO and lead blockchain developer, which is Kevin V. Myers, right there on the left. Look at him. He looks so astute and smart. Brendan is here with us today. Brendan, let me ask you. If somebody is the CEO and a lead blockchain developer of a cryptocurrency exchange, are they trying to remain anonymous, or do they want their name out there because it could get them more business and more clients? I'm pretty sure that all of you would be able to answer that question. If you're that high profile and you're a CEO, you're on LinkedIn. You need people to know where you're at. Hey, I'm working at this company. Not one of these four individuals has a profile anywhere, has a picture anywhere. Matter of fact, I pulled up Kevin E. Sinclair, and it's some guy who died like in 2007. So, a virtual machine, yes, definitely use a machine that's junk. Yeah, and Brendan, you want your name out there, right? If I was any one of these positions, their chief technical officer, the head of financial trading is Charles N. Carlton. Anybody who is going to make their name in the financial space wants to have their name out there. I don't care if it's LinkedIn or if it's going to be a Facebook or some other profile page. Their name will be out there. Morris B. Knudsen, a good yogurt name. He's the head user interface and user interactivity designer and product manager. Of course, he is completely anonymous, doesn't appear anywhere, neither in picture or in name. And the head of marketing and community manager, Kevin E. Sinclair, well, he's on his cell phone because he just took all your money. That's why he's smiling. He's in the Bahamas right now, wishing that you would send him more money. Yes, Seymour Butts was not on there. So, this is something which drives me nuts, because I know that there's people out there who are falling for this. I know there's people who are going, wow, okay, I'll just put a little money in. Whatever money you put in is going to be gone and lost. Now, if we look at the numbers that would be what they requested, which is $3,000. Oh, that's where it gets even better. So I did with $1, right? Let's just put in $3,000 in here. And that would make you a millionaire by December, what date's it today? November 12th. This would make you a millionaire by December 12th. 1 month, you'd be up $1.8 million. Good luck, guys. Good luck with that one. And a billionaire in 2 months. So by January, talk about a good New Year's, you'd be up $2 billion. It's just remarkable that this crap is allowed to be out there, and drives me nuts. So that's the first step in scamming. To me, this is a very common one where people will mimic a Twitter handle or some social media platform. It happened on Facebook as well from my account. I was told recently that it happened to Bob Dunn. Sam Evans was talking about happening to him. It's unfortunate. Just, I like to think that all of you are more astute than that and smarter than that. But unfortunately, there's people out there, I know a couple people personally would probably click on this and send in money and sign up for it and kiss all their money goodbye. Now, there are other ones, not as in-depth. This one is great because I have like the comments from somebody from them promoting this URL, this website, which is great. It was perfect that they did that, because otherwise I would have just thought it was some scammer trying to get your money. But now you've tied yourself to this one, which I can now research and find that is most likely bogus as well. So stay away from NASCAR LFX. Honestly, you got to pick a better name. Now, the other one I was talking about or going to mention is this one. These are other ways that people are going to try to scam you. This is directly from my YouTube comments, and I am on top of it, guys. Every time I see this stuff, I delete it almost instantly. But I want you to notice the pattern here and how you can identify these things. And if you have other people, I would say share this information with them, because it's critical to identify when you see a scam. So here's what was posted on the YouTube channel. And again, this happens every single day. Trade with Zoe posted, having a trading plan is essential for every trader. Trading with Mrs. Monroe's trading platform and understanding its unique premise could help you formulate better your own trading plan. Okay, that's fine, but clearly they're promoting Miss Monroe. What happens with these types of spam posts is they'll post a phone number or WhatsApp. Honestly, if someone's going to talk to you via WhatsApp to help you understand their business, they're most likely a scam or international, and they don't want to be tracked. So they posted this phone number here. Of course, this was taken down. And then, so for more info, WhatsApp. And then all of a sudden, people will start posting. And usually it's within like a 10-minute window of time, because it's probably some sweatshop in India where they got just a whole room of 1,000 people, all just with different IDs, looking legit, right? We've got Ivana Patrice. We've got Nora Mead. I can scroll down here even further, and you've got James Collins and Damian Attenborough. I wonder if that's Williams' brother. And Carmen Ridley. But all of them, notice within 5 or 10 minutes of the initial post, started posting. I've earned over $80,000 through trading with Miss Monroe. Her trading platform helped me recover my losses from previous years. Of course, tons of spelling errors. It's difficult to express my thanks and appreciation of the integrity of her platform. Okay, I tell you what, I've been in this trading business a long time. I've never heard of no Miss Monroe. I never know Miss Monroe's trading platform. So I wanted to show those two. Those are the big scam ones, and it got me going. I'll tell you what, I was livid. I was completely pissed off, and I'm so glad that Kay sent in those graphics to me, because it's just, these people need to go out of business. These people need to be just run into the ground. Unfortunately, it happens, and they're out there, but it's unfortunate to me when I think about who's going to suffer from this. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be Brendan or Big Eb. I mean, I know you guys are sharp enough to see right through all that crap. But, it could be like, I don't know, my dad, right? My dad's a pretty bright guy, but, he might look at this and go, oh, okay, well, that's cool. He's smart enough to ask me right away, is this legit? But I know people, our parents in particular, are somewhat gullible to these things when they see social media posts, or people that just don't understand how the markets work. And I feel bad for them, because a lot of people are going to lose money and just throw it away, and somebody's behind that curtain. Jerry says, Merlin, can you sue them? No. I mean, they're impersonating me. I don't know what I could really do there. The best thing that you can do is, if you ever receive a message from me that's soliciting money or a business opportunity, you just know right out it's a scam. But look at the ID. If it's not at TraderMerlin with nothing else, not TraderMerlin1 or one TraderMerlin or Merlin with 2 eyes, TraderMerlin, if it's not that, it's somebody else impersonating me. And it's funny because I know that just about everybody that I know that's been scammed or that's been mimicked, they're not the type of people that are going to come directly and try to solicit money from you. You know, you look at somebody like Bob Dunn. Bob Dunn's not going to come and send you a personal message trying to get you to send money to him for him to invest. You look at Sam Evans, same thing. He's not going to send you a message through Twitter saying, hey, let me invest your money, buy into my this, and I'll give you a 20% rate of return per day. He might send something saying, hey, we have a class coming up if you're interested, but that's totally different. You know, that is, to me, it's an informational and sending to something that you can make an assessment about it. So anyway, that's it for me. My rant is over. Again, Kay, thanks so much for sending that to me. And if you guys ever see stuff that involves me and looks scummy, let me know ASAP. I really do appreciate it when I get the support and I guess the eyeballs from you. It's just weird to think that somebody thought that they could go out there and take an exact copy of my site, exact copy of my profile, and mimic me, and is now going door to door trying to get people to sign up. The profile, by the way, has been subsequently removed. So there you go. Yeah, Lori. Well, I mean, and I'm happy you think that way. You know, some people think the education didn't suit them, and it's unfortunate. But you know, when I look at educational entities, you have probably the biggest support group around with the centers and the counselors and XLTs and all the different sessions that they do. So I wouldn't align myself with them if I didn't believe in them. All right. Get your money into crypto spot while you can. Oh, we'll talk about cryptos here in a second. Any last minute questions on that, guys? If anybody has any questions on the scams, I'm going to move on to markets and trading because we had a great day out there today. At least I had not a great day. I had a good day. We had a good day on this to the south side as that market sold off. So, all right, what do I got? Let me go to a question that came in from Brian. I thought that this would be good to share with you guys as well. You know, I did a whole show a couple days ago on building your trading computer, and what I showed you was a pretty high-end computer that's probably overkill for many of the things that you guys would be doing from a trading perspective. Now, this question came in from Brian. I'm hoping I put the right name on there. I think it might actually have not been Brian. Let me make sure. I always like to give people... Yeah, it was from Brian. Okay, so Brian sent this one in. He says, I was looking for parts on Micro Center's website, and guys, I actually really do like Micro Center. They tend to be a great store if you're building computers, and saw this deal. It seems like a good deal for a computer to use for trading, which is all I would use it for. I have an iMac, and I would use for my day-to-day use and music recording software. What are your thoughts? So let me show you the computer this guy found. I'm telling you, this thing looks damn good. For what it is, here it is, Micro Center. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger for you. It has a lot of the components that we talked about. So it has the Ryzen 5 chipset, which is a great chipset. It's got the tower. It's got a 3.6 gigahertz processor. I mean, that chipset is solid. It's going to be doing everything you need to do. Has an AMD Radeon 580 video card with 8 gigs. Now, I don't know specifically this one. I wanted to go with NVIDIA because I've been told by everybody that, yeah, there's a lot of Brians out there, Brian, sorry. Everybody always told me go with the NVIDIA, and that's my IT guy always told me, so I went with it. But this is a pretty solid one from what I read. The only issue I don't know is how many monitors you can run out of this. You know, can you run 2? Can you run 4? Can you run 3? I don't know. Might be able to check the graphics here and show you the back end of this. Let's see if I can find out for you. I can probably see it and tell you right here. This actually looks like it'll run 4 monitors. You can see you got display ports, 3 display ports, and an HDMI. So you can run maybe 4 monitors with this video card. That's great. Mine only does 3. It gives you 16 gigs of RAM, which is probably more than enough. I have 32. The other thing that's nice about this is it has a 500 gigabyte solid state drive. 500 gigabyte solid states are kind of expensive. I was surprised that that's in there. Normally you'd have like a 100 gig SSD, which is gonna be like, you know, 80 or 100 bucks. But a 500 gigabyte SSD, I'm sorry, terabyte. Never mind. Mine's a 1 terabyte. Okay. I thought that looked, I was like 500. I have a 1 terabyte solid state drive. So my hard drive is a little bit bigger. No big deal. What I would highly recommend here is you really got to be careful with what you install on your hard drive, but also buy a secondary drive. You could buy a solid state, or as I mentioned, just a standard spinning drive as a backup so you can ghost your computer and mirror it. But honestly, I think this, for $700, I think this is a great bargain, and you have to put it together. Part of the frustration for me was putting this whole thing together. And also, when I mentioned my computer the other day, I bought Windows 10 Pro, or was it Windows 10 Pro? Yeah, which, you know, there's cost to those things as well. That's included with this computer. So, Brian, I like it. Good computer. I heard AMD was good for gaming computers. That is what I use right now. Yeah, but you got to remember, we're not gaming, right? If you look at what we do, the system resources are nowhere near as high for trading as they would be for gaming. Gaming, I need that high graphics, 3D card. We don't really need that. The only reason I have a high-end graphics card for this computer I'm using now is because I'm broadcasting. I'm streaming this HD video and all that, so I wanted to make sure I had the best, the best setup, so I don't have any issues of dropped video like I did at the very beginning. For trading, probably don't need a super high-end video card. It's probably a little bit overkill, but honestly, for $700, that's a pretty solid trading machine that I'd give a good thumbs up there. So good job, Brian. Okay, what else did I have? I had one more question. I'm going to go to the questions, guys, and then if you have some, send them on in. I think there was one more. This one came in from Jeff. I have a couple questions here that I may actually need everybody's help on. Yeah, believe it, I might ask for your help because I don't know the answer to the next question. Jeff says, I have Thinkorswim and TradeStation account, and I was looking at XBC on TradeStation for the strike at $20 expiration on November 20th and was paying $85 per contract. When I looked at the same trade on Thinkorswim, I was only paying $15. My guess is you have the wrong option chain. I think I might have my option chain up here. Let me see if I can bring that up for you guys. So here is BXC. I know I can't change these fonts, unfortunately, guys. I know it's super tiny, but basically this line I'm clicking on right now, that's the strike price he was talking about, right? And if you... It's probably changed now because this was an end of, it's expiring in a week. 7 days left on this one. You have a massive spread here. So my question is, even during regular market hours, would be kind of why would you want to trade this one? It's got a huge spread and not a lot of open interest. So right away, you could get differences in the quotes on the various platforms because of illiquidity. If you don't have a lot of liquidity, these spreads can get real wide. And yes, the markets are closed right now, so that's much bigger, but I'll check this out again tomorrow. Right now you're looking at over a $2 spread. Forget it. And that's on your call side. Your bid side, you're looking at 65 cents. That's monstrous. So it could be the difference in the platforms. When I trade on my Ameritrade account, I have an account there that's just used for selling options. I noticed that on that one, the numbers are different from when I use TradeStation. I found personally that the TradeStation numbers seem to be the more accurate. I don't know why that is, but when I'm entering orders, I'll actually have TradeStation up on my one screen and I have Ameritrade up on the other, and I'll be putting in the orders based off of the numbers I see on TradeStation I usually get filled. All right, Merlin, did you ever talk about what it's like to work for a prop firm? I have. I have covered that a while back. I'm a little skeptical on the whole prop shop thing. And there's many different levels to proprietary trading firms, right? There's the type of trading firm where you sign up, you take classes with them, and then you fund an account, and you'll trade their money, and they'll give you a percentage of the earnings. My problem there is generally there's limits as far as how much you can lose, and most people at the beginning lose. So what'll happen is you end up losing at the beginning, and then you're cut off and you can no longer trade their money, but you paid a bunch for the education. That's usually, I call it the scam. There was a guy, I got to be careful saying names because I mentioned him in the past. He is extremely litigious. He's very, very, very famous in the industry. He's got, that's all I can give you. Yeah, I can't give you any more because I don't want to face any lawsuits on this one. But basically that's what he would do is he would fund traders with money, and if you lost just a small amount, he would automatically cut you off, but you had to pay for education for him to fund you. So he would get your money, a couple $1,000s, he'd fund you with $10,000, you lost a little bit, and you're done. So for him, he makes a few $1,000s off of your education, and then you lose, $200, $300, $500 trading? That's fine, he's still going to make, a couple $1,000s off of you next, churn and burn. So that's one way. The other way is where you go into a firm and you bring in your capital and it's pooled capital. So you're basically using leverage through that firm. But again, if you can trade successfully, if you can trade rather consistently, then why would you want to do it with somebody else's capital? Start with your own and build it up slowly and get to the point where you keep 100% of your profits. Most of the firms out there in the proprietary space only give you a percentage. Maybe it's 50% of your earnings. That would probably be pretty good. Maybe it's 30% of your earnings if you're using a lot of their capital. So I'm not a fan of it. Early on when I started, those proprietary trading firms, they were all teaching you high-speed day trading, which of course they were making money off every transaction and commission that you made. So that was I'll call it the scam back then, was teach everyone how to be a day trader. They'll do 300, 400, 500 trades a day. Broker gets rich, and eventually the day trader just burn out because of all the capital expenses. Yeah, I know. I think if you approached it right and you were very careful and extremely disciplined, you could probably do rather well. But I'm one of those guys that I'd rather do everything myself. Let's do it myself and not rely on somebody else who can take a big cut of the profits from me. Now, some of them will provide education. Most of them are going to charge you for education. So let's say you go to Prop Shop XYZ and they say, yeah, we'll fund your, we'll give you $100,000 to trade. Sounds great. Okay, but you have to take a $5,000 class, right? And that's the class and administration, setup and all that stuff. So you put $5,000 in, and now you can trade their $100,000 account. With that, well, they probably start you smaller, but with that, you're getting a percentage of it. And make 4% of $1 million versus 50% of 100,000. Yeah, but there's no way they're going to give you $1 million to start, Alan. No way they'll give you $1 million to start. I don't care what firm you're at. They'll probably start you off with a $30,000 account. If you can prove yourself there, usually you'll get bumped up to 50 or 100,000 and go from there. But you're not going to be trading $1 million account straight off the street in a prop shop. That's such a liability for these firms anyway. Most of them you got to prove yourself, so it's kind of step. Top step trader is 80-20, so you keep 80% and they keep 20, or they keep 80 and you keep 20. My hope is that you keep 80 and they keep 20. Not bad, and that might be one of the higher levels out there. We could probably break that down and see what the different levels are. Yeah, and as Alan says, failure rate can be high. One of the reports I read from Bear Stearns back in the day, excuse me, I think I take a sip of water. Water today, whiskey tomorrow. One of the reports I read from Bear Stearns back in, I don't want to say it was 2006, 2004, somewhere in there. It showed that 93% of retail traders fail. 93%. So if I'm prop shop, top step trader, whoever you want, I don't care. It's a liability for me giving anybody who walks through that door money, because statistically it is shown that the failure rate is extremely high. So that's why I'm never going to give you $1 million. Nobody in the right mind would, unless you were offering your house as collateral or something. They're going to start you off real small, and that's the same way the Turtles worked. If you guys look at the Turtles trading group, which is one of the most famous in the world, they started them with a specific set of capital. And they all had to follow rules. Any violation, you were kind of kicked off the team. But if you did well and you followed all the rules, you would get more and more capital. God, I can't remember the guy's name. Obviously, Richard Dennis and Bill Eckhart. But there was one student in particular who wrote a book on it, I think it's called The Way of the Turtle, that showed kind of how that progression moved up. Just bought assets cheap and sell them high. Yeah, that's it. And I think, Brendan says just buy assets cheap and sell them high. Or sell them high and buy them cheap. That's the other way. That's where I make most of my money. It's the short side of things, which is why today was so good. Yeah, Jerry, that's one of the original. Richard Dennis and Bill Eckhart were the two guys that had the debate about the Turtles. Richard Dennis said, you can make anybody a trader. That was the bet. You can make anybody a trader. And Bill Eckhart was like, no, you can't. It's in my DNA. I was born to do this. And of course, it's a famous wager. I forgot I think it was like a $1 wager or something like that. But Richard Dennis won that wager by proving you could take anybody and make them a good trader. But it has to start with good education, no matter what. Okay. Aside from core strategy, anybody should learn multiple methods for evaluating the stock and projecting growth. 100%. I think that the challenge here is when I look at core strategy, what Online Trading Academy teaches, think of that as like the foundation for the house. It really revolves around discipline, money management, coming up with a specific set of rules, right? And making sure you have entry, stop loss, price target, you evaluate your trades, and you put the odds in your favor. If you know any home that's been built without a foundation, the odds are over time that thing's going to come crumbling down. One good earthquake, it's over. One good tornado, it's done. But with a solid foundation, you can build whatever you want on top of that. And I agree with Brendan. You know, one of the reasons I just love doing Power Trading Radio for so long is not only was I interviewing all these online trading academy instructors, but I was interviewing a lot of people from around the world that had different styles, and that's okay. You know, you can't look down on somebody for having a different approach unless that approach is, as one of the things I read, this guy had a trading style off the migration pattern of elephants. I'm going to call bullshit on that one. Sorry. There's tea leaves. There's guys out there that are using astrology. Hey, you know what? If the bottom line is you're showing me that you're making money, great. I think one of the funny ones is Wall Street Journal, I don't know, I think it was a university, did a study where they took a chimpanzee who threw darts at the Wall Street Journal, and they would buy along those stocks, and that monkey outperformed a lot of fund managers. Kind of funny. All right, cool. So, Alexander, with Top Step, is it 80-20? You keep the 80? Not sure there. All right, I'll answer some more questions. Do me a favor. If you have some, type in some questions now so I can take a second to read those. I'm going to go through and do your economic calendar or your earnings for today, because I thought that was rather interesting. I don't know if you guys saw the earnings out there from Disney. Disney reported earnings today, and I will show you that chart because their earnings were great. But as we've learned, a great earnings announcement doesn't necessarily mean your company is going to do amazing. And it reported after hours. So let me show you that one. Here's the Disney numbers for the after-hours session. You can see it had a pretty big spike up on the news of their earnings, jumping from about 135 to 145, so a nice move up if you're holding. The other side of it is it's drifting down now, and we saw that kind of happen today. There were some nice gains initially, and the market gave those back, unless you're holding Bitcoin, which breached 16,000 today. Hallelujah. I need to get that button. Let's see. So I wanted to show you the earnings. Here we will go. And I'll get to this question here from Otto in just a second. This is the economic calendar for tomorrow. I don't know why I have these out of order. Here's Disney, right? Disney was expected to lose 68 cents per share. They actually only lost 20, which is, thank you. I mean, that's a nice surprise. Surprise to the tune of 70%. Cisco also reported earnings after the market closed, and Applied Materials. So you have three relatively positive pieces two from the tech sector and one from, I don't know what you would lump Disney as, but Disney really one of the nicer movers. You'll notice here that Cisco and AMAT both performed well. I'll show you those charts here. Here is Applied Materials. AMAT ran from about 69.80 all the way up to 72 in after-hours session. Pretty nice run there on the earnings announcement. And Cisco, not the food company, CSCO, not SYCO. Here is Cisco Technology, big jump up from just under 39 bucks to over 42, and it's drifting down now. But nice to see those the nice swings in the tech that might help the NASDAQ. Now, I'll show you these real quick just because the NASDAQ had some issues today. Nice rally near the end of the market, right at the close, right up to a supply level. My feeling is that might have been because of Cisco and AMAT, which are both in the NASDAQ 100. Cisco is also in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, so that might be a little bit of a positive force for tomorrow if we get a bigger move from Cisco. This is today's chart, though, and I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see that really huge swings last night in the NASDAQ 100. I'll switch this to a 15 so we can get a little more scale. Here you can see kind of the last 4 or 5 days. Most of the moves really happening in the after-hours session, right? Last night and tonight. Now all of a sudden you see the market open and it gives back a lot of that. Same thing for the S&P 500, although it was weaker last night and really gave up a lot of ground today, although it did have a nice rally in the last half hour. The real loser on the day, and I'm still holding my puts on Russell. Russell 2000 was weaker not only in the after-hours session, but kept on drifting down today. Had a couple little bounces. You see it rally just like the markets did right near the end of the market. But the real story is this guy. It's gold, right? Technically, I'll look at the daily. Technically, nothing amazing from gold here. We talked about this on yesterday's show. It's really just done a little sideways Oreo cookie action here. We've got red candle, green candle, red candle, green candle. Well, if any patterns, any indication here, we'll have a red candle on gold tomorrow. But it was up 0.76%. But Bitcoin, this is phenomenal. Good luck. Let's keep this thing. We talked about it hitting 100,000. I think Brendan, you were thinking 20,000 by the end of the year. That would not surprise me. It feels like it's really picking up momentum. And I don't know if you guys have been reading a lot of the headlines. A lot of these headlines are talking about more and more companies entertaining the idea of using Bitcoin payment systems or cryptocurrency as payment mechanisms for their businesses. And you're starting to see more adoption is critical for the sustainability of some of these cryptocurrencies. And I'm pretty excited about what I'm seeing here. you could see 20,000 by the end of the year. It'd be a pretty significant run. I mean, that'd be $4,000 in a month, but a month and a half. But Bitcoin's done it many, many times before. I mean, we've seen in a month and a half already a move. Since I have the technology, in a month and a half, you've seen Bitcoin run. I'll go from the September lows to the high we achieved just yesterday. You're looking at 61% gain. And if you want the exact numbers, I can double click that and show you the price change. It's moved $6,000 in 64 days. That's pretty impressive. So if you want to do it relative to what the end of the year might look like, it's moved $5,500 in the last little over a month. So could be great. Yep, 100,000. That's my 2023 bet. So by January 1st, 2023, I think Bitcoin will be 100,000. I think Brendan's on board with that one too, and I think Big Eb's probably cheering that one on. Yeah, and I think Big Eb, we kind of talked about that yesterday with Disney, right? I didn't hear it, but it's obvious that Disney's going to suffer from any sort of resurgence in COVID. Now, my friend lives in Orlando, and you have Disney World. Disney World's open, 25% capacity. But if these numbers keep popping, they're shutting that back down again real quick, and it'll be a lot more shutdowns. Of course, here in California, because of Governor Newsom, we're still shut down with regards to Disneyland, which not gonna shed too many tears over. All right, Jerry says PayPal might be a game changer for Bitcoin, even for myself with Amazon down the road. Yes, I was saying the same thing, and I think we've talked about this in the past, that if Amazon at one point says we will accept payment in any cryptocurrency, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, Ripple, whatever it is, if they accept payment in a crypto, then you will see the entire sector absolutely boom. Because you're looking at the mother of retail consumption, of shopping, saying, hey, we'll accept cryptocurrency. I would be concerned that at a certain point, you would probably have the government say, hey, wait a minute, that's transaction, you're using this as money, and now all of a sudden it becomes an issue when a juggernaut like Amazon is using cryptocurrencies. You have things like Overstock, right? Overstock has been accepting Bitcoin as well as several other cryptocurrencies. I think they've cut back a few of them, but they've been doing that for years, but it's Overstock, right? It's Overstock. By the way, remember we talked about Overstock being the most ridiculous stock of 2020? Well, that changed, didn't it? Wah, wah. I mean, it's still doing great, but it's at $53. We were talking about this thing as it breached 120 going, it's ridiculous, up 4,000%? Damn. All right, what else I see here? Where can we research different Bitcoin stocks? Gosh, it's tough, Sherry. I don't know. I don't know where you would technically go without seeing people give you a biased opinion. You can research Bitcoin companies and stocks. There aren't a lot of them. GBTC is kind of the one that we've talked about here in the program in the past. But you got to be careful because there's different companies out there that will say, well, I'm a Bitcoin company or I'm a mining company, and underlying, they're really not. It's just what they put in their description to get people to buy in. Me personally, the only one that I'd be thinking about would be GBTC, although you guys may remember the discussion that GBTC, it's a trust, right? It's a fund that actually physically owns the Bitcoin, but what happens is there's generally a premium that you are paying to buy GBTC. I'll show you what I was talking about here. I think I actually have that saved in a workspace. Look at TradingView. I love that I figured this one out and I set it up in TradingView. It's kind of a nice little piece here. Where is it? There it is. So right now you're paying it's actually a good time to buy GBTC. And here's why. I set this up. Oh, actually, never mind. I take that back. My bad. I set this up where it's Bitcoin's price, and then you subtract GBTC times 1,000. So GBTC is 1/1000th of a Bitcoin, right? So if you look at this chart, anything below this red line here, I'll zoom out. Anything below the red line is a premium that you're paying for buying GBTC. So right now, as you can see, it's trading at 1963. That means that if you buy GBTC, you are paying $1,963.80 more than if you just bought Bitcoin. That makes sense? That's the bad part about this. I'll bring up GBTC. GBTC. All right, GBTC is trading at $18.24. Remember, it's times 1,000. So that's $18,240 that you're paying per Bitcoin. Because really all this trust does is buy the Bitcoin and hold it for you, and you have a share. Just find an exchange and buy Bitcoin. Open up a Coinbase account, go to Coinbase Pro, that's here in the US. I think Coinbase is probably going to be one of the juggernaut exchanges in the US. They've been getting exponentially bigger because their offerings has been growing. But just, if you want to buy $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, then go to, or $1,000 or $100, go to the different exchanges like Coinbase and buy it there. Now, as Brendan points out, there's a lot of companies that aren't specifically Bitcoin, but have a lot to do in the space. You mentioned Square, right? Square payment system. They're now opening up to Bitcoin. So is PayPal. I don't know Galaxy. And Hive and Hodl are funds, if I'm not mistaken, right? I don't remember. HODL. Cypherpunk Holdings. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's a 7-cent security, so I'm not going to trade that one. But to me, that's the way I would be doing it. Just going straight to the exchanges and doing it that way. All right. Let's see. So that was the economic announcement, the earnings announcements for today. I do think you're going to continue to see problems for companies like Disney because of COVID. It's funny, Texas at one point was like, "Oh, you blue states out there in California, you guys can't control your COVID. You got problems." And now I'm looking at Texas. Highest number of cases of COVID in the United States. I guess they were saying that if you took the number of COVID cases for Texas and stripped it out as its own separate country, it'd be like in the top 10 list of COVID cases around the world per country. Anyway, way to go, Texas. We're doing a little bit better out here in California, but wear your mask. Here is the economic announcements for tomorrow. There is a few that you should be aware of, especially if you're trading the euro. You see at the very top, you've got Bubba President Weidman speaking. You have flash employment change. You have GDP numbers as well as trade balance. And then for the U.S., it's really a PPI number. That's it. The numbers down below, like University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, aren't really that important. I mean, they used to be, but now they're just, no one really watches that too much. Other than that, you've got Governor Bailey from the Bank of England speaking, and that pretty much wraps up your Friday announcements. Now, it is Friday tomorrow, which is great, which means we'll be having a nice frosty beverage. Hard to believe it's actually Friday. And it's Friday the 13th, so hopefully the market won't be too scary for you guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the empirical evidence of scams going on. You think that you're not going to be a victim of it, but not only are some people a victim of it, but they're getting into it because my name from some imposter is being used to it. So be careful out there. Sure, Richard says because all the Californians are moving to Texas. Well played, Richard. Well played. Yeah, cool. Mandalorian just started, but are they really going to make a lot of money off Mandalorian for Disney? Right? I mean, if most people that wanted it have Disney Plus. It's not this huge boom of new people. It's really the parks and the movies is where they're generating a lot of the revenue, and that's all of a sudden been shut down. Okay, cool. That's going to do it for me, for everybody. Hope you enjoyed today's show. I know it was totally off topic, but again, Kay, thank you so much for the graphics and the images. Those of you who reported these people who are scamming, I love when you not only report them, but let me know about it as well so I can go out there and report them. It's funny, when the guy set up this imposter account, he blocked me automatically. So it was kind of funny. I was like trying to say something to him, like, I'm blocked. Wait, you mean I can't talk to my imposter? Anyway, that will do it for today, everybody. Have a great show or a great day. I hope your Friday trading session goes well. I will see you tomorrow with a nice cold frosty beverage. Take care, everybody.